Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is where you are, and welcome back to another episode on the Annoyed Dad channel. In today's episode, you can see that we are looking at an airlock that goes to the Mead that we made back in November. Now, you may just be stumbling upon this video and you might not have seen the video where we actually made the Mead, so I will put a clicky link just up here, there, somewhere. And you'll be able to click on that. It'll also be down in the description below, where we made our own mead from our own honey with water from the tap, basically. So this mead gave off a very violent reaction and it bubbled away for quite some time. We have now reached February the 2nd, so it's been left for a good couple of months. And we have had over a week with very little movement in the water. Now you can see that the water level is just there. So the gases have pushed the water all the way around to there. Because obviously if it was equal, the water would want to be level. So if I lifted that out, the water would go to a level position, which would be about there. So there's still a little bit of pressure behind it. And the furthest it's dropped back after it let go of a load of gas, it dropped back to about up here. So it went all the way around and up to there. And obviously the gases come up again and pushed it back around to there. So now the reaction's pretty much ended. If I just take my tripod down, we can go and we can have a look and we can see the mead itself. So there's the top of it. Quite often get the floaty bits of yeast on the top of it. And then we come down to the golden yellow honey colour, which is the mead, which is all in there. And you can see just at the bottom there, if I just angle you down a little bit, you can see there is a very small area of the sediment which is in there at the bottom. We do not want that into our bottles, which is what we're going to do in a second. What we've got out ready to go for the bottles and everything is, if I turn you around this way, you'll see just here I have a jug. In the jug I have some of the VWP, not sponsored by them, but it's who I use at the minute, cleaning sterilizer, and in there I've got some corks. But because of obviously corks float, I then have another bowl on top and a glass is in there just to press it down and just to keep them underneath the water, just to make sure that the whole cork is actually sterilised. Plus, if you soak corks in warm water, as these are, it makes them easier to put them into the bottles, which we'll do once we've decanted the mead. And if I bring you around and down again, you will see that I have the bucket, which has got some sterilising stuff in there as well, made up to exactly the same strength. I believe it's 1.5 teaspoons to 4.5 litres of water. And I've got 5 bottles, which are all full up of the sterilising stuff. I have got one brown bottle, you can see it just in there, laid on its side. That's also got it in, just in case there's not enough liquid to do one of the green bottles, I can put it into the brown bottle. And also in there I have got I've got the pipe, which is going to be used for the siphoning to empty out the demijohn. So what we're going to do now, because the VWP is a rinse steriliser, what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty out the bottles, give them a quick rinse out, quickly rinse out the tubing, put everything somewhere clean and safe, and then we'll start to do the decanting of the demijohn. Just while I'm doing this, I just thought I'd show you Annoyed Dad hint number 842. When you're emptying out a bottle, you can just pour it out. Like so. And that takes however long that just took then. Your other option is, when you start to empty out a bottle, if you start it swirling, so as all the liquid inside is swirling, it leaves a gap in the middle for all the air to get up, and it empties your bottles quicker. Show you again. Slow way, because the air's having to force its way in past the liquid, or create a vortex in there, and it's so much quicker. There we go. Annoyed Dad handy hints. Right, so what we're going to do now, the bottles are rinsed, they're ready to go. is we are going to remove the airlock. Put it down. There you go. So the airlock's still got liquid in it, so we still need to be a little bit careful of that. And you want to try to do it so as you don't disturb the liquid too much. There we go. It comes out just like that. So now oxygen is getting in there. So obviously we want to move relatively quickly. And we've got our sterilised pipe. And you put that in. Now again, you don't want to be disturbing the stuff at the bottom. And you don't really want to be disturbing the stuff on the top. You can see that I have disturbed it just there. So I'm going to take the other end. I'm going to suck on the other end to start the liquid coming through. And then I'm going to put it into one of the bottles. Now this one's got a little tap on it, so I can actually turn it on and off and stop the bottles. And we're going to fill the bottle up to the neck, and we will see how we get on from there. So there's the liquid in there. Going to line it up on the first bottle. Okay, so when you start filling the bottles, try to get the liquid to go down to the side and not to splash in, because if it splashes in, obviously that's then going to be mixing with the oxygen. So you can see there, well, you can't see there, but I'm actually aiming it over to the side of the bottle so as it runs down the side of the bottle rather than just splashing in through the middle. I'm also watching our demijohn because we're getting very close to the end of it. So what is left in the bottom of the demijohn here is basically a very small amount of mead, but that is then also combined with all of the dead yeast and other bits and pieces. Come on camera, focus in. All right, if we take you over to the sink, we'll pour it out and we'll have a look. You can see what's left in the demijohn there, just all of the manky stuff. So that all needs a good clean out. All of these bits of yeast and everything else down there. You can smell it as well. The smell is of yeast, basically. So with these bottles here now, obviously I've got one that's just got half a bottle in it. So that's just a taste. I can then just place the top onto that, and that's then sealed up. Simple as. With these other ones, I've taken the corks and I have rinsed them out to rinse off all of the bits and pieces. And then I've got a big cork insertion thingy Mead machine. That puts the corks in there for me. So it does it just like that. See, just on the top there. So I'll do that with all of the others. So there we go. That is our bottles, corked, bottled and everything else like that. All that's left to do now is just to design some labels, place some labels on them so as we know when it was done. They'll probably be stored on their side like that. You'll see like this one here, I actually picked up some little bits. You can see the floating in there. But that's all going to settle to the bottom. That's not going to be a big issue. So we will store them. There are some people who say that mead is best when it is left stored for 8 years. There are some who say less time than that. There are others who just like to drink it straight away. I don't know exactly myself, but we did try some of our other one that we made, and that was very nice. But I'm sure that if we can leave these ones from now until Christmas, they'll be incredibly nice at Christmas. So thank you so much for watching this video and watching it all the way through to the end. If you have not already done so, please could I ask you just to consider clicking that subscribe button down below, because little channels like us, every single one of you who do click the subscribe button, it gives us a nice warm feeling inside and makes us all happy. If you do have any questions, queries, comments, please leave them down below. If you have any ideas for me, because I'm new to homebrew, then please do also leave them down below. And until next time's video, thank you so much for watching and goodbye.